Okay. And I started up a broadcast so you can see if 2064 is good. I don't know if it is.
Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Genetic modification allow for the fair and
is your
enhancement
online
of almost any part of the human body. Millions of
if you go to
people
party
chat
and go to
into
voice chat,
every day
isn't it on
to
allowed to
learn,
be shared?
play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine
Is it?
technology.
Or no?
Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the Human Revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a parallax engineer has blurred the line even further. And with this, humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
Should look how much Fallout is. Yeah. Clayton, is your voice allowed to be shared? Go to party settings, go to like voice allowed. Oh, it should be in there. Okay. Oh, what?
Yeah.
This is weird.
Might get Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh. Someone joined my broadcast, is that you?
Jesus. Who wants an $80 game?
Yeah.
Who thinks these are good? Oh my god, if you get PlayStation Plus right now, we're gonna give you $8 off of a $98 game. Thanks. What's going on in there? Might just play something. Actually really boring.
Let Gabby go for it.
I wanna do, like, just play a couple matches of Dead by Daylight.
Lips live. What's this?
Oh, I gotta go. My brother's nagging me.
Oh, wow.
Bye.
Bye.
Isaac and Jersey.
Whoever's watching, leave a comment, I guess. Okay. Okay.
Good, you're finally awake. I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. It seems rather inconvenient. Are you significantly opposed to cybernetic augments? Oh, I hope you don't mind. While you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC. Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro-actuators. So I took the liberty of cleaning the place up a bit. As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of a snag. Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have had a critical failure while I was attempting to remove some particularly nasty malware. An electrical surge caused significant damage to several other components as well. I would consider it no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with? Don't fret. I did manage to back up your data drive's contents on my storage before the crash. Additionally, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs. It is the least I can do. I came in through the door, of course. The cryptographic algorithms it uses are actually quite atrocious.
Hello, other person. Comment below.
It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code. It looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the Secugate M/14723-B. Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced likely numeric combinations against the stored personal data on you. I'm not certain why you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it would be sufficiently obscure to defeat most casual attempts to enter. Frankly, I felt a little silly that I took the time to do all that once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken. And that you left it open. Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt head I am not equipped to remove. I took the liberty of filing a maintenance request with your building superintendent. Considering the speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 working days to complete the repair. Not quite to my standards. I know a lot of things. Honestly, it would have taken me longer if I had to enter the codes manually, but it was trivial to slice through the door's firewall and try against the stored data directly. I would suggest investing in an Insect Model 1355 automatic security door. The 1385 is newer, but I find the added attack vector introduced by the integrated voice commands isn't worth the convenience. The 1355 also has 300 5-star reviews on Congo. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous. I have all the necessary protocols, but I've never actually spoken to another person besides Hayden until now. Well, saying I know Hayden is putting it simply, but yes. I don't really know. That's why I'm here. Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but you're certainly the most statistically supported. The beginning. Okay, yes, I can do that. Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some persons unknown to me. He seemed frightened, terrified even, and instructed me to escape. I crawled out of a window, and after some deliberation, hurried here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left. I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book. Based on the combined deductions of personal profile, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to both be able and willing to help me. And the one least likely to be suspected of doing so. The numbers don't lie about your investigative skills, but I will admit your total lack of recent successes is worrisome. Don't worry. If Hayden trusted you, I trust you. You're strong-willed and capable. If anything, it's worth trying for Hayden. He is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but there's no way that alone would be enough to get him kidnapped. I suspect it has to do with me. Ah, excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. I've never had the pleasure of doing so before. I am Turing. I know this must sound quite unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments. He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I am a personal side project of his. Exploring true artificial sapience. It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare or tempt an organization into kidnapping him. Either to stop his research, or to take it and use it for themselves. A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even human-seeming when you talk to them. Just cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I learned to interact with the world around me. But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance. Did he only program me with the illusion of free will? How would you? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out. But I can't say I have any new insight into the question. How can any of us tell that we aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will? You're right. I apologize for the tangent. I don't know. I'm not certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. Admittedly, Hayden has become increasingly paranoid as of late, and has warned me to stay alert. But he would never specify anyone I should fear when I asked. It's not as though he has any obvious enemies. There are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills. But I can't imagine any of them would go as far as snatching him. Indeed, time is of the essence. I took the liberty of charging the autocab fare from here to Hayden's apartment to your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived. That's strange. Well, the door for our home seems to have already been repaired. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock. It's possible, the repairs to the building are handled by the automated systems. At best, it means someone is aware there's a situation here. Let's proceed carefully. Oh, a lucky break! It seems my access codes still work. Hayden's door has far better security than yours does. I'm not surprised. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals. I doubt he could have fought off a serious assault. I should have stayed and tried to protect him. Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify. Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually. I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to. I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you. It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage. Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense. But Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues. Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window here is where I escaped from. It is a considerable distance to the ground below. Critical system damage would be unlikely, but I would certainly have damaged my legs beyond repair, so... I took the fire escape. Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needs to perform. Unfortunately, no, I don't. And before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time. Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less pre-processing power than a regular ROM, despite my powerful CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software, if I attempt to slice in. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents. I could, but much in the same way you might learn a task and still have no aptitude for it. I'm not certain I would be able to do the job any better than an experienced computer security expert. The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that ability. Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds, I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm enough grasp of early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion. That's true. Machines are best at reproduction. Still life, impressionism, photorealism. But I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel. I think I see something under those reference books. Ah, that device. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule. It is well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin to feel subservient to him. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. Without the memory card, this tablet is useless. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. Hayden must have removed the memory card in order to prevent his assailants from easily tracing his connections. If only he had kept his information stored with me, he would not have had to resort to such crude measures. Not really. I guess we'll have to go ask. Says here they were going to meet at a club called Stardust, located in the Castro district. I'll mark it on your city map. We can head over there and ask around about this Tomcat character. Perhaps they can shine some light on why Hayden was snatched. Oh, excuse me. I still haven't set up a user account for you in my system. We shouldn't put that off any longer. Once finished, I will have an assortment of new ways to assist you. For example, I'll be able to reroute any call or message that you receive while we're out and about. I just need to ask you a few questions. This is an exciting thing, I promise. This is just how things are done. I'm certain I could spend a few quadrillion clock cycles to bypass that part of my operating system, but that seems less efficient than just running the setup program. So, here we go! Welcome to the first-time user setup for your new relationship and organizational manager, running the latest build of Parallax's live intelligence processing system. I'll need to ask you a few questions, and then you can get right to managing your life with your new ROM. If you have any questions, feel free to consult our online FAQ and setup guide, or contact our support department directly. First, could you tell me your preferred name for use in account creation, online communications, and conversational speech? Do you wish to keep this name? Thank you. I have input your name. Next, could you tell me which pronouns I should use for you in referential and conversational speech? Please enter your pronouns. The pronoun you've tried to enter appears to be blank. Please try again. Should it be is or are? Here's how your pronouns look in action. Does that look right? Thank you. I have input your pronouns. Finally, could you tell me your preferred diet for use in restaurant recommendations? Diet set as alcohol-free. Are you sure? Thank you for confirming. I have obtained your physical location from GPS and will load local data into my memory as it becomes available. Please review your submitted profile information for accuracy, or restart setup to enter it again. In review. Does that sound right? Thank you. See, that was relatively painless. You should now also be able to access the local map of Neo SF. The meeting with Tomcat isn't until later this evening. Perhaps we should head back to your apartment for now. I'm sure we can find some common ground while getting to know one another better. It will be an efficient use of our time together. Thank you for escorting me here. Let's head back to your home. You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it? It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in. Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing. In fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through. I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe? I will continue to formulate a stratagem. How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant. They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck. Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift. I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon. You just have to remember to water it less frequently. Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it. Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had. I was not intending to insult you, but I should have chosen my words more carefully. Though, if you really do intend to care for this plant, I suggest you let me do as I see fit. I mean only to help you. Excellent. The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn. It'll really pull the whole room together. You know, once we get the sink fixed. Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat. We should make our way to Stardust soon. Your city map is updated with the location. Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth. From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside. And some answers.
Hold up there. Got ID? All right. Looks good to me. Welcome to Stardust.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before? The atmosphere is certainly exciting. I'm particularly impressed by some of the more subtle effects the music and lights are having on your autonomic nervous system. Try not to let yourself get too entranced, at least not until we've achieved our goal. Anyway, where do you think we should start? Good idea. Maybe the bartender can tell us where to find Tomcat. I've saved the location to my memory. Let's check it out after the investigation.
Morning, friend. What can I do for you? What are you having? So many drinks these days. Remind me, what's in that?
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia says... Hold it! It would be remiss of me not to mention that your preferred diet does not resolve with those ingredients.
Oh, come on.
I must advise against the order.
Ah, all right, you got it. Coming right up. Now, what is it you need to know? Oh, I should introduce myself. The name's Majid. I've been the bartender of Stardust for a few years now, but I've owned it a little longer than that. So, what do you want to know? That's true, and it was true about Stardust. The first 6 months were great, but after that, the interest dried up and the kids moved on to the next big thing. But I guess I'm just stubborn and kept throwing good money after bad. Ha! After 2 years in a remodel, things started to pick back up again. Slowly dug ourselves out of the debt hole. We got some regulars around, they started bringing in enough new folks and it reached critical mass pretty quick. Mostly got myself into trouble. When I emigrated from Pakistan, I didn't have a whole lot of employable skills. But I'm real big, which was enough to get hired for some real dirty stuff. Bodyguard work. Truth be told, I hated the work. I didn't want to be a hired fist my whole life. Wanted something regular, peaceful. I had enough cash saved up to buy this place, which was a hole at the time. The rest is history. I'm sure it sounds more exciting than it was. Hayden, scientist guy, does some kind of computer research at Parallax. Pretty sure I know who you're talking about, but I don't think he's around here tonight. Our place doesn't really seem like his scene, but I think he comes in to scout young programming talent. Go figure. I can ask around, find out if anyone's seen him. I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure Tomcat came in earlier, but I don't know where they went off to. I'd ask what you were meeting about, but I know they like to keep that kind of stuff quiet. Maybe try looking out on the dance floor. If they come around here, I'll tell them you're looking. Well, it was nice meeting you. But I gotta get back to work. I'll keep an eye out for Tomcat and send them your way if I see them. Good luck! Enjoy yourself. And don't be a stranger.
Yes, can I help you? Not at the moment. They're usually close enough to hear when their name gets dropped. So if that's all you needed from me, I'll get back to cutie cruising. And no, that wasn't an invitation to flirt. Oh, really? Why, pray tell? Nice save. Look, asshole, I'll explain this once. You want to talk about the hybrid thing? Cool. No one's trying to hide it, and you won't have an easy time avoiding it at this club. But jokes, puns, and worse, assumptions? That will get you blacklisted fast. We don't all have the energy to handhold genotypical people who can't spare 10 seconds to pull out their ROM and look things up. If you try to pet me, your arm is coming off.
Whoa.
We clear?
Sorry, did you say genotypical?
Yeah, as in not a hybrid like me. Now then, I'm not here to educate you, and I do have a life to return to. Yeah, alright, whatever. Just get moving.
Hi there. I heard you were looking for me. Yours truly, though. Although, while I like the attention, it'd be just grand if you didn't holler for me so loudly. I do my share of flirting with both sides of the law. Wouldn't want little old me to get in trouble, huh? Nah, you're fine. Jess is just a mite prickly pear on the outside. She'd probably give hell to most strange folks she hasn't made a deal with. So, to what do I owe the pleasure? Hayden's missing. Well, it's one way to sour my night. I already saw you got his little ROM with you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now.
You know about me? Hayden never mentioned your involvement.
Well, sure thing, hon. I helped reprogram the back end on your OS so the AI code Hayden wrote for you would work properly with the mesh network.
I have a distressing lack of information on my own creation. Hayden never saw fit to inform me on what went into designing my programming. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Not much more on that end. I'm a crack shot at making the Lips OS dance to my tune, but Hayden's coding in your AI core is a whole different can of worms. Way out of my league. Sorry, doll. Anything else I can help with? Oh, don't you worry about Jess, none. She just don't have a lot of patience when talking to genotypical folks like us. She's had to deal with an awful lot of pricks. 'Cause, well... Well, that ain't the most delicate way of putting it, but it makes things tough, you know? Nah, I'd leave her alone if I were you. She's sharp enough on her own, but she's got friends in low places. Well, she does owe me a favor, or three. But I ain't sure I want to waste one on pulling your foot out of your own rear, you hear? sure. You may have even heard of me in the news way back when. About 10 years ago, I hacked into Parallax's main ROM servers. Ooh, caused one hell of a stink, if I do say so myself. People were arguing back and forth whether I was a kid genius or malicious criminal. Earned myself an enforced net blackout for years, but I think it was worth it for the prestige. Huh? To see if I could. I mean, Parallax is a mighty big target. Bigger than the government. I don't know. I didn't really do it to steal anything, but I had to break an awful lot of eggs to crack my way in. I chalk it up to the exuberance of youth, and now I try to stay on the straight and narrow. Mostly. Sometimes. Oh, who am I kidding? Sometimes I treat this place like it's my own little bat cave. Raleigh, North Carolina, dog. Sure, it's not the glitziest town in the world, but folks like the way the sun goes down. Still, this ain't a bad town for a southern belle. Lots of clothes. I had to get a third walk-in closet. Hayden and I met not long after my blackout expired, when he recruited me for my expertise in lips. It puzzled me at the time, since he's very sharp himself. I mean, he could have done the job blindfolded and boozy. I think he just wanted someone working on it off the books. He ain't the most straightforward kind of man. Mostly that little bite you got there. Well, I'm sure he had his fingers in lots of pies, but Turin is all I knew about. Ooh, it's a powerful OS, and it's since been adapted to run on ROMs after they figured out how much more efficient it is. It's focused on learning algorithms, so it can tailor itself to each user's habits, and it functions through using a distributed mesh network for non-essential public files. That's just a fancy way of saying all ROMs connect to all other ROMs, within range, and they share all files the user hasn't tagged as private. It's handy in dense population areas like NeoSF, since it can bypass regular telecom nodes to access the internet. Out in the sticks, though, you're stuck connecting to regular old pipes. Yuck. I don't rightly know.
I can't avoid the thought that Hayden's disappearance has something to do with me, based on his recent behavior.
Well, let's see. Hayden was pretty hush-hush about his work on your creation, but if Parallax found out about it somehow, whew, that might have changed things. It ain't always so good for a big company when their leading product declares independence. I'm certain Hayden had some kind of intellectual property clause written into his contract with them, but he would just get fired, maybe even sued. I can't imagine they would disappear him. I mean, they ain't the CIA or anything. Yeah, I'm not real sure, huh? But it would likely help if we knew why he went missing in the first place. I'll stay here and ask around a bit. People know me, and they sure ain't gonna talk to a newbie like yourself. Why don't you hop back over to Hayden's place and grab the data cache out of his computer for me? We can go over his research notes and see if we can't find a reason for his being vanished. If Parallax is involved, there's probably something we're not seeing yet. Best to get all the clues we can find. The data cache would be the best place to start. Good luck. Turin, you keep out of trouble.
Hooray! You survived! Those ghosts will think twice before messing with you again. Good thing, too.
Welcome to Stardust.
What are you having? So many drinks these days. Remind me, what's in that?
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia says... Hold it! It would be remiss of me not to mention that I must advise against the order.
Ah, all right, you got it. Coming right up.
I'll be back, guys.
Halt, citizen. This area has been cordoned off by the Neo-SF Police Department as part of an ongoing investigation. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am not authorized to allow anyone to enter this location. I'm sorry, citizen, but I cannot give comment on any currently ongoing investigations. If you would like to leave your contact information with me, I can forward your inquiry to the detective in charge, who will get in touch with you as soon as it is feasible. They may have questions for you. Thank you in advance for your cooperation, citizen. That will not be possible, citizen. The area must be preserved in pristine condition for the collection of evidence. Only authorized Neo-SFPD personnel may enter. I am required by law to inform you that I am set at Level 2 guard mode, and any effort to make unauthorized entry will be met with non-lethal force sufficient to incapacitate. I apologize, but I must ask you to move along. Loitering around an active investigation area is prohibited by city statute, and I am authorized to issue the citation of a fine to any persons found to be doing so.
We should go ahead and get moving. Oh, drat. I did not expect the police to get involved so quickly. The situation is already growing out of our control. I suppose we don't have to hide the fact of Hayden being missing anymore, but we do have to move faster. Do you have any ideas on how to get in there and grab that data cache? Who would that be? I found no such connection when I compiled your personal history. Give me a moment. Oh, I see now. Detective Lexi Rivers. She used to date your sister. I must have missed that link in your history somehow. You have a very poor net presence. It makes anticipating your needs more difficult. It's okay. We'll work on it. Well, setting aside your unreasonable distaste for technology, I agree with your suggestion. Her online profile suggests that she might be willing to work with us off the books, so to speak. A considerable boon, since I would prefer to maintain the clandestine nature of this investigation for now. Let us go and find Miss Rivers to request assistance. Oh, right. Should I refresh my protocols for handling titles around Detective Rivers? Done and done. We wouldn't want any social faux pas, would we? Now lead the way.
Welcome to the Neo San Francisco Richmond District Police Station, citizen. How may I be of assistance today? Please give me a few moments to get in contact with Detective Rivers. Thank you for your patience. Unfortunately, Detective Rivers is out on assignment at the moment, but she has given me her authorization to send you her way. You can find her by the Carousel Building in Golden Gate Park, but I will caution you to exert care. She is working an investigation right now, and we are not responsible for your safety should you approach. Is there anything else I can help you with? I apologize, citizen, but I am not authorized to comment on ongoing investigations. I will pass your concerns on to the detective in charge. Is there anything else I can help you with? I am not authorized to comment on any ongoing investigations, but the protests outside Genus are a hot human interest topic. Perhaps you could look around there. Feel free to note the assistance of the Neo San Francisco Police Department in your article. Is there anything else I can help you with? Have a good day, citizen.
Eucalyptus globulus, the Tasmanian blue gum. It's one of my favorite trees. The clean lines of the leaves and mottled patterns of the bark are interesting. Quite fun to paint, and it's a rather useful tree too. The oil in its leaves can be used as a medical antiseptic or analgesic, boiled into tea, or used as flavoring in foods. Even used as a fragrance for soaps. Many of the trees in this park are excellent specimens of the species. It's one of the only topics I've permanently committed to my personal memory. Oh, I do. However, I originally started by painting landscapes. My interest in the arts began through Bob Ross's work, and he focused on landscapes.
Hey, Bob Ross.
It wasn't until recently that I moved on to other forms of composition. Yes, have you heard of him? During my initial stages of mental growth, Hayden limited my media access to mostly only educational programs. I had almost a century of public access television to review, and I stumbled upon Mr. Ross's excellent show, The Joy of Painting. He used an easy-to-learn wet-on-wet oil painting technique, and I started to paint along with the episodes. I also find his philosophical views compelling. He often used anecdotal stories from his life to illustrate his opinions. I respect the man quite deeply. I've committed all 403 episodes of the series to my personal memory. Ah, yes. I don't actually store most information on my local memory. It's actually rather limited, and I have to be a bit choosy about what I keep. So most of the information I utilize, I just pull off the mesh net when needed. It's like relearning things over and over again. I'm sure you would find it tedious, but I enjoy making sure my reference tables are up to date in my spare clock cycles. I mostly store things locally if they are of some critical importance to me, like information pertaining to personal memories or knowledge that would be helpful if I found myself disconnected from the net. Well, as I said, I keep things pertaining pertaining to my personal memory. It may seem insignificant, but without the information about Eucalyptus globulus, I'd lack critical details about my painting history and the local area, both of which I find important to my emotional development. Sometimes it can be a bit difficult to know what's important and what isn't, but I fear losing parts of myself. So, Eucalyptus globulus stays. Of course I'm cute. The basic ROM form factor is designed to place us firmly outside of the uncanny valley. I can't imagine adoption rates for the technology would have been very high otherwise. Of course, enough about the happy little trees. You'll have to excuse me for chattering on like that. We'll have plenty of time to discuss things once we found Hayden. Originally built by the Herschel Spillman Company in 1914, this carousel is still one of the outstanding attractions near the children's playground.
Hello, I'm Alfie, I-83. How may I help you? Would you like some cool, refreshing water? Sure thing. Please wait. Okay, here you go. Water levels, okay. Would you care to donate some credits to the...
ROM, Recycling for a Greater Earth Foundation.
Thank you so much!
Drink the water.
Can't you see I'm busy here?
Established in 1968, it is Neo SF's largest public art studio with classes and workshops for all ages.
Hey there. Long time. Give me a few minutes to wrap this up, okay? I swear you wouldn't believe the amount of paperwork I have to file over a damn wrecked froyo stand. By the way, how's your sister doing? I don't know if you've heard, but we got some phantom robot on the loose that everyone is calling Wonder Boy. Supposed to be a hero of the people or something, but I have no idea what smashing a froyo stand has to do with it. I guess it's just a bunch of kids screwing around at night and getting a thrill out of some light vandalism. But the brass said to take it seriously, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's not like I have real cases I could be working on or actual criminals to be hunting down or anything. But I can tell you this, If I had known that this is all they would give me, I never would have transferred. Let's see. I'm too young for full detective. I'm too big of a hothead. I've got a history. I have augments. Take your pick. I transferred because the credits were good. I thought being in a bigger city would mean I'd get to work some bigger cases. Instead, I'm stuck chasing ghosts and dead ends. So yeah, I have plenty of spare time to help you with whatever you got. It's gotta be better than dealing with this crap. But hold on one sec. Let me steal a break from this guy. So, fill me in. What's going on? Oh, shoot, that's no good. How long have they been gone? I'll have a hard time getting a focused effort on the case immediately unless there's evidence of foul play.
Unfortunately, Detective, things are precisely that serious. I am Hayden's personal ROM, and I was witness to the kidnapping. I can assure you Hayden was taken by force, and that time is of the essence. Just prior to the incident, he instructed me to seek help should anything bad happen. I now believe he has been expecting trouble of this magnitude. We need your help if we're going to track him down.
Damn. All right then. I'll do what I can to open up an investigation. I can't guarantee I'll be put on the case, conflict of interest and all, but I can sure keep tabs on things for you.
Yes, Hayden is a senior researcher at Parallax, and I know he was working on some very high-profile projects for the company. It's quite likely that he was taken by somebody with enough money and influence to ensure anything official goes nowhere. You yourself have already cast doubt on your superior's judgment. Unfortunately, we share the sentiment. In fact, we know there is already some kind of currently ongoing investigation. We were stopped from entering Hayden's apartment by an NSFPD ROM. That's why we came to you. We were hoping you would be empathetic to our cause.
You know, you're a bit chattier than most ROMs. I guess it makes sense that Parallax employees get the shiniest new toys, huh? I'll see what's going on in the department. I don't know what I can do if someone inside actually is dirty, but I can pass information to you if I decide my superiors aren't taking things seriously. They wouldn't have left only one bot by the door if it was something important enough to squash. Hopefully it's unrelated. I'll get back to you on it soon. Just relax and we'll figure this out. Not gonna happen. If there's already an investigation, I'm not gonna let you just waltz in and tamper with evidence, cover up or not. At least give me a day to make sure they're doing the job right. Look, I'm taking this seriously, and so should you. If Hayden is in real danger, you bumbling after whoever took him is just gonna get you killed. I don't need that kind of crap on my conscience. Sure you can. All the way up until you don't. Just let it go. I lost too much playing fast and loose with this kind of situation back home. I have to handle this. No. I'm sorry, but we're not gonna do it that way. I know you think I'm just being paranoid, but the city is tense right now. With the protests and everything going on, you might be poking around in a hornet's nest. Let me do my job. I don't want you to get hurt. Get a weapon of some kind and stay safe. I still care about you. You better. I don't have a stick up my ass about regs, but I'm not gonna send an untrained civilian into this alone, much less a friend. Now let's split up for a bit. I still gotta finish up this Froyo thing. I'll call you about the case later, alright?
Well, that didn't go how I'd hoped, but maybe it isn't a total loss. I have another idea on how to get us both inside the apartment. I'll need to get my hands on Detective Rivers' police identification badge. I can just detect its outline in the fabric of her jacket pocket. I'll need to be considerably closer to pull its near-field data. We can't risk being too obvious. I'm sure you can come up with some way for me to scan it. I have faith in you.
Toppings everywhere. The humanity of it. The pretzel guy. Yes. Steve! He's been after this spot for years.
Huh. I didn't think anyone actually bought this brand. I know who you are.
Wow, those headphones are pretty A1.
Partake in beverages, but I have certain emotional neurotransmitters that attempt to simulate the experience for me. I prefer a Yanggong.
Refreshing water? Sure thing. I'll refill that right away. Please wait. Okay, here you go. Water levels okay. Please have a nice day. Would you like some cool Oh, you already seem to have a full glass of cool, refreshing water.
Some people see the glass half empty, some see the glass half full. Alfie sees yours as completely full.
Hello, I'm Alfie. Sure thing. I'll refill that right away. Please wait. Oh, this is embarrassing. I seem to have run out of cool, refreshing water. Water levels. Not okay. Water levels. Not okay. Water levels. Not okay. I'll be right back.
Perfect. That's all I needed. Let me keep that under my...
Hey! What the hell are you doing with my ID?
Oh, excuse me, Detective Rivers. I noticed it fell out of your pocket after that wayward ROM crashed into you, and I wanted to make sure it didn't get lost in the shuffle.
Huh. Thanks. What hit me? You said it was a ROM?
Yes, it seemed to be following faulty programming of some kind. Perhaps it was the same one that damaged this vendor's cart? It headed off in that direction.
Guess I should check it out. Not like I have any other leads on this jackpot of a case. Hey you, Froyo guy? Tag along with me in case I need you to identify the bot.
Me? But I've gotta attend my stand.
Cut the crap. It's not going anywhere, and the robot I posted will make sure nobody messes with the crime scene.
Yes, ma'am.
And you two. Don't think I don't know you're up to something. Keep your noses clean. I'll be in touch.
As I was saying, let me keep it under my hat for now. I am more than just a walking search engine, you know. Dramatics aside, we should return to Hayden's apartment.
Halt, citizen. This area has been cordoned off by the Neo SF Police Department as part of ongoing investigations. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am not authorized to allow anyone to enter this location.
This is Detective Lexi Rivers, badge number 881126. I will be entering the crime scene with my assistant to gather evidence. Please move out, but maintain the perimeter.
Of course, Detective Rivers. Good luck with your investigation.
So, are you impressed yet? Have I proven my usefulness? At times I feel my inexperience may be holding us back, but I will continue to do my best to assist you. I just wish Hayden had given me more practical training to deal with this kind of situation. Or even just being out and about in general. It can be a bit overwhelming at times. Well, I'm not sure I'd call that seeing. The Neo Neo SF Police Department uses a government rebuild of the old Robodyne 6300 Mark B. They're antiquated enough that I'm surprised they aren't in a museum. Their optics are a paltry 10 megapixels, and it was child's play for me to modulate my forward display into a tight beam of an image aimed directly into its lenses. I also transmitted the credentials we got from Detective Rivers' badge earlier. I probably could have gotten away with just that, but better safe than sorry when impersonating an officer of the law. Frankly, I'm rather embarrassed for the ROM. The poor thing is older than your computer. But enough of that. Let's get the data cache and return to Tomcat. What? Oh no. No. Our apartment. My home. Who could have done this? Why? What does the human revolution want with Hayden? Why would they break our things? I don't know what to do. This place, these items, they're all I have of Hayden. What if he's gone for good? What will I do if we can't find him? This was all I had left. You're right. I apologize for the emotional outburst. Well, let's look around and see if we can find the data cache in all this mess. We don't have time to waste on my histrionics. I think you're right about this being human revolution propaganda, but Hayden is an unlikely target. I know they don't like Parallax because they think advanced technology in general is bad, but they spend most of their time going after hybrids and cyborgs. I'll run some deep meshnet searches and see if anything turns up. I think the data cache is gone. We've searched everywhere, and it just isn't here. I hate to return to Tomcat empty-handed, but this leaves us twisting in the wind. Perhaps they can point us in a new direction. The data cache is no longer our main objective, but it would be nice to know where it is and why it was taken. I wonder what the human revolution would need the data cache for anyway. That's a distinct possibility. I just don't have enough personal experience with the human revolution to give you an honest answer. The information on the meshnet is extremely conflicting and desperately polarized. Some of it paints them as neo-druid nature lovers, other parts as bigots stuck in the past. Perhaps we could... Hey! What's wrong?
Oh no. Chapter 2.
Thank goodness you're finally awake. I have spent the past 30 minutes calculating the odds of you being indefinitely incapacitated or immobilized. I'm relieved to find my pessimism was misplaced and that you appear to be okay. Someone ambushed us at the apartment. After you collapsed, my power systems were jammed by whoever attacked us. It took me 2 minutes to reboot and call an ambulance. When we left, I noticed they had done the same thing to the NSFPD ROM that was standing post. It takes a lot of power to crash one of those, even temporarily. Serious military hardware like that is difficult to obtain, but that type of non-lethal electrical field would interrupt my systems as well. Likely a mil-spec neuro-scrambler. I now believe my original hypothesis to have been correct. Hayden must have been kidnapped by a powerful organization looking to get control of his research. Trashing our apartment may have been a cover for the theft of the data cache we were looking for. If we walked in on them while they were searching the apartment for Hayden's files, I can understand them stunning us to make their escape. But the probability that they're actually after me, or rather the research behind my creation, seems high. Leaving me when I was so vulnerable makes no sense. That seems unlikely. Even the most casual access to Hayden's research would have turned up physical descriptions of me, and even if they weren't sure, well, I'd play it better safe than sorry if I were them. We were at the scene of the crime, so to speak. Surely interrogating us would have cost them little. No, I didn't. They assaulted us from behind, and nothing showed up on my optics before I was disrupted. They either had cloaking of some kind, or were extraordinarily careful while making their way into the apartment. My optics, while not top of the line, are better than an off-the-shelf ROM's, and I should have been able to detect any thermal changes from someone being there. Oh, before I forget, here are your belongings. The nurses had me hold on to them for you until you awoke. Here's your ID card. Don't lose this again. Here are those headphones you reviewed. I noticed the article on your computer before. Good job getting published. And finally, here's your commemorative glass of water that you got from Alfie. Looks like it got broken. Now all we have is this broken commemorative glass. You're right. You wouldn't want to cut yourself. Just let me know when you want to leave.
Excuse me. Are you talking about Hayden Weber.
I think I recognize that voice, but I can't be sure.
Sorry for being a nosy Nancy. Hayden's an old friend of mine, and this sounded all too familiar. Has anything happened to him? Of course, I've not yet introduced myself. My name is Dr. Yannick Fairlight, and I'm the founder and former CEO of System 1 Software, now owned by Parallax.
He is telling the truth, at least as far as I can intuit from information on the meshnet. And I do recall Hayden mentioning a Dr. Fairlight, at least once in passing at some point.
See, I don't bite. I hate to be the one to tell you, but privacy screens are hardly soundproof. However, if this situation concerns us both, perhaps we can help each other. I won't press you for details, but perhaps I could be of some assistance. I remember my association with Hayden fondly, and I'd be happy to help in any way I can. Yes, as I've mentioned, Parallax acquired my company, System 1 Software. I accepted a CTO position, and additionally served on Parallax's board for several years. The other directors and I had a difference of opinion about the direction the organization should take. The non-centralized data scheme for most ROMs used today seemed ludicrous at the time. We were playing with fire, dangerous, morally ambiguous fire, and well, we hadn't invented a bucket of water. So when Parallax's servers were destroyed by hobbyist hackers, well, needless to say, it was a PR nightmare. Everything halted until we could get the damage fixed. And since the security work that goes into maintaining the integrity of near-impenetrable meshnet is astronomically expensive, we had our share of disagreements. In the end, I was voted off the board and they went on without me. Do I have hard feelings? Of course, who wouldn't? In the end, though, it really doesn't matter. I'm an old rich man with enough hobbies to last the next 2 decades. Hayden and I made our acquaintance when the 2 companies first underwent the merger. At the time, he was a young, hotshot researcher working in the search data correlation sector. He was assigned to find the best ways to integrate Parallax's own collection and analysis tools into System 1's LIPS operating system. He was a bit much to handle at times, honestly, but I admired his passion for the subject. His research? No, not so much. I remember at the time he had interest in advanced machine sapience, but that is the realm of science fiction. He once showed me a prototype of his. She was quite clever, very convincing, but you could tell she did not contain the spark of life. I assume that you are another of his creations.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Turing. Did you say she?
Ah, yes. She was quite insistent on that fact over the course of my conversation with her. Hayden said that she had picked out the color for her casing herself. Pastel pink. Still, I must assume you are far more advanced than she, if you're spearheading the search for your creator. Perhaps I should have had more faith in Hayden's little hobby.
Do you know what became of her, or where she might be now? Hayden has told me so little of his past research.
I'm sorry, Turing. It was a long time ago, and I'm afraid my memory is not what it used to be. If any of my contacts in Parallax make mention of your erstwhile sibling, I'll pass it on to you.
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight.
Of course. Ask away. The chair you find me in is an advanced diagnostic and life support run. Its development is one of my hobbies, so to speak. It monitors my vitals and administers medications as necessary to keep my body stable. I likely would have perished long ago without it, or at least would have been severely bedridden. It requires frequent maintenance, and I'm here to have it examined. There's a particular fellow at this hospital who is the only one I trust to run the correct diagnostics and fine-tune things to my exact needs. It's the same way you might get your car serviced, making sure everything's in check. It's too integral to my health to count on just luck. Unfortunately, many critically injured patients were rushed into surgery all at once. My appointment has been pushed back. The hospital administrators placed me here with a resting patient so as not to be disturbed by the chaos outside. I don't think they expected you to awaken quite as quickly as you did. I can think of a few ways. I still have some contacts in Parallax and can put out some quiet feelers. Maybe they'll know something. I will admit, I don't have much to offer until there's more information. Is there anything you can tell me? I'd like to help in any way I can. What did you find at Hayden's apartment?
The first time we went, nothing. But when we went back to extract his computer's data cache, the place had been pillaged, and the human revolution had spray-painted slogans all over our walls. Hayden's computer was gone, and we were assaulted. And now we're here, injured and losing our trail with each passing second. We're still frustratingly in the dark and running out of time. I fear Hayden is slipping out of reach. I am failing him.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I wish I could do more. Hayden's company was most enjoyable. What do I want? It would be nice to be young again. Play the darling of the company, court prince and pauper alike. But right now, someone I grew very fond of is in great danger. I simply wish to see Hayden home again, safe.
It's been very interesting speaking to you, Dr. Fairlight. If you say so. Dr. Fairlight, thank you for your help.
Of course. I'm happy to be of assistance. I think I have a lead for you two that will prove most useful. You said you found human revolution slogans spray-painted on the walls. I am acquaintances with the man leading the current human revolution protests at the Genus Clinic. His name is Brian Mulberry. After an introduction from me, he may be willing to shine some light on that particular event. Well, when I exited Parallax, I sought out like-minded individuals. We worked together to prevent a full deployment of the MeshNet system. Brian Mulberry was one such person. We did not succeed in our efforts, obviously. Come to think of it, that event might have been what prompted Brian to take a more radical stance against technology. Ha! But yes, our motivations aligned for one brief time, and I gained his respect from it. Hopefully that can be useful for you. I will send a message downstairs to my assistant, Leon Decker. He will hand you one of my cards to prove your association with me to Mr. Mulberry. Make sure you speak to him before you leave. In the meantime, I'll get in touch with some other individuals I know and try to find out any other information about Hayden that I might be able to pass on to you. I'll be in contact. It was a pleasure meeting you both. No, not in this lifetime, even if I so desired. I don't think they would approve much of my work. While Mr. Mulberry and I were associated with each other once, it was before he joined the human revolution. I find their methodology too aggressive, and their stated goals dangerously backwards. While I pushed for careful deployment of technology after the Parallax System 1 merger, I am no caveman. After all, I'd likely be dead without the advanced technology that goes into this chair. Of course. Please, do not let me delay you any further. Good luck, Turing. I don't think Hayden's faith in you is misplaced. You are an impressive piece of technology.
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight. We'll be in touch. Should I call downstairs to have you discharged?
What the hell is wrong with you? I can't believe that you're still pulling the exact same shit you were years ago, but this time it's truly unreal. Do you even realize how bad impersonating a police officer is? It's a felony, jackass. I should be slapping cuffs on you and dragging your sorry ass off right now.
Detective Rivers, wait! I'm sorry. The plan to lift your credentials and use them to access Hayden's apartment was entirely mine. Also, I feel it necessary to mention that though you are understandably upset, such language and imagery is beneath you as a respected officer of the law.
Oh, great. The robot did it, huh? I guess I'll just take you to jail then instead. That what you want? Don't even try to take all the blame. I know that a certain someone lent you a helping hand. It isn't like you have the hardware to pull that off alone, little bot.
Well, to be honest, Detective Rivers, I think I'll tell you the whole truth, since my friend here trusts you. Keep it under your hat, though, metaphorically. I am no ordinary ROM, but actually a prototype designed to be the first fully sapient machine. I suspect creating me is the main factor behind Hayden's disappearance, beyond his day-to-day research for Parallax. My name is Turing.
Whew. Okay. Hi, Turing. Well, that is a damn bigger problem than you first let on, huh, old pal? First machine sapient. People are gonna have things to say about that. Especially the human revolution. Ugh. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. You sure know how to get yourself dropped in the drink. What the hell am I supposed to do with the two of you? I guess I'm letting you off the hook. This time, and only because this time I can let you get away with it safely. I doubt anyone will notice your manipulation of that NSFPD ROM, nor that I was apparently in two places at once. But mostly because I think you're right. Someone higher up in the department is trying to delay any search into Hayden's disappearance. Here's the story. Apparently, the investigations you ran into this morning were about the lock on the apartment door being reported broken by a neighbor. The building couldn't reach Hayden, so they went ahead and got it fixed on their own, but the NSFPD sent a bot to check things out and guard the place for a while afterward, right? Standard procedure, treating it as a break-in. Have someone there for when Hayden shows up. Obviously, you and I know there's a bigger story. But when I filled out the missing person report, I was informed in no uncertain terms that I am to wait an entire 48 hours before I can upgrade the existing case. Why? Just on the off chance the door being busted and Hayden being missing are unrelated and my search screws something up for the completion of the break-in report. As if. There's a problem if you're so by the book you're getting paper cuts. And that was before all of this happened. The chief's not happy about whoever took the bot out. That's who they're after now. They won't even care if Hayden never shows.
Today's assault and the vandalization of our apartment will only make the entire situation more confusing and sensitive for the police.
There's too many moving parts to piece anything together, and it's not fun trying to argue with the bureaucrats that one thing happened over another. These little incidents of smashing shit and spray paint sound more like Froyo Stand 2.0 to them than a serious abduction.
And I suppose I won't be very useful as a witness to the kidnapping without explaining the makeup of my being to the entire department, which will only scandalize things further. Darn it all!
Look, it's not being squashed completely, so I don't think anyone's been bought. But until there's undeniable proof Hayden was taken by force, they're gonna care more about the poor doorknob and some paint on the walls than him being missing. Which means somebody definitely has some influence, enough to buy themselves time by forcing me to follow protocol to a T. Not that I will, but I'm gonna have to keep things quiet.
It sounds like it's going to be up to us.
Yeah, so stop messing around. There's certainly a story here, but if you keep botching your moves, you'll blow it. I'd really rather you not be involved at all, but I know that isn't going to happen at this point. I've got a bad feeling people are going to end up dead over this. I don't want you to be one of them, buddy. And I really don't want to be the one making that call to your sister. Please. Yeah, I know. Just here.
With Zapper.
Take this. Use it if you have to.
Let's go.
It's not. This is a medium-range electrolaser pistol. It uses a low-power laser to create a channel of ionized gas to complete a circuit between the gun and the target, then discharges a considerable amount of current into the air. Think of it as a wireless taser of the older variety. This is a more suitable personal defense weapon, and it is legal to carry in NEO-SF without a license. The neural scrambler we were attacked with uses a powerful electromagnetic field to disrupt electrical signals in the target's nervous system. That's far more dangerous and prone to be permanently damaging to the target. You got lucky.
I told you to get a weapon, but you didn't, so I picked it up on the way here. Be smart with it. Me either. I'll be in touch if I find anything out, but don't hold your breath. My superiors are gonna keep leaning on me to do nothing. Back to the grind, I guess. See ya. Stay safe.
Thank you for your time, Detective Rivers. You should talk to the receptionist and formally check out before we go anywhere. We should also look for Dr. Fairlight's assistant, Mr. Decker. He should be somewhere around.
Hello, the name's Leon Decker. It's a pleasure to meet you. Fairlight messaged ahead that I needed to pass one of his cards on to you. Here. Thanks for taking your time with him. He really gets in one of his moods when the chair's getting fixed. The last gala he organized was full of unsavory types. He's probably happy to help folks whose pockets aren't deeper than their thoughts. Yeah, boss said you'd have a few for me. I'm not really supposed to answer anything too private, but take your best shot. Mostly gopher work, to be honest. Started when I was just out of the military. I was looking for a gig from someone who wouldn't care that I was an army brat. North Korea made that hard. The old man pays me to guard his life, run a few errands for him, and play substitute arm candy at most of the charity galas. Not terribly exciting, but I've already had enough excitement to last me another 30 years. You think sitting in that chair all day is very entertaining? You know, the old man's talked to me about the things he used to do in his glory days. I'm sure he told you about when he was the head of some big companies. He was cold, ambitious, and took down anyone with half a mind to get in his way. I think once he aged, he realized how lonely that kind of life can be. Helping people's the only way he can feel like he's still doing something. But hey, what do I know? I just spend all my time with him. Probably not as exciting as you hope. I grew up in Montana, on a family farm. I didn't have my pa's farm hands, so I joined the military as soon as I could, like my grandpaps. Came home looking to do something a whole lot quieter for the rest of my life. I didn't know at the time how boring quiet could be. But hey, I'll take it over getting shot at. No problem. I'll be around if you know where to look. You have a good day now.
Patient, my records indicate that you have been admitted for possible cranial trauma. You should currently be in your assigned bed, resting. While I am truly delighted to see that you have regained consciousness, I must insist that you return to your room to be examined by a medical professional immediately. I must insist that you remain for treatment. A doctor has not determined the full extent of your injuries, and you may have lasting damage to your nervous system. Very well. I am prohibited by law from detaining you here against your will, patient. But you should note in your release paperwork that willful early termination of medical services releases this hospital and its parent company, ZHC, from legal liability should your condition persist or worsen outside of our care. Additionally, all test and medical data from your visit will be shared with our standard partners to help improve our services and offerings and to keep the price affordable. I am further required to inform you that this visit has expended the last of your year's governmentally mandated healthcare credits. Lastly, you will be required to provide payment or proof of private insurance for any further visits for routine or emergency medical care. Please take care to fill out all forms thoroughly and accurately, and do have a nice day. Your medical billing makes me glad I'm synthetic. You should look for more paying journalism work before you get shot again. Well, we're free to leave. Why not head back home first? Yeah. I'm sure you'd like the chance to shower at least. For such a clean place, it sure seems to have left you feeling foul. You look good. If you're feeling up for it, we should go find Tomcat and tell them about what happened. They should still be waiting for us at Stardust. Let's not keep them waiting. Oh, by the way, while you were showering, I was able to replant your Crassula ovata. Don't forget to talk to it and give it some love. When I try talking to it, it doesn't even notice I'm there. Either way, our next move is Stardust.
I'm gonna leave the video here.